Good afternoon, participants. My name is Juveria Kamruddin and I am your host for this webinar series. Before we begin, I would like for you to check your audio settings for uninterrupted audio. And if you are facing any difficulties, you can contact me through the chat box and we will resolve your issue. Without further ado, on behalf of Faculty of Architecture and Planning, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Technical University, Lucknow, I would like to welcome you all to the webinar series launched to engage with architecture students, researchers, educators, and fellow architects on various interesting topics. The theme of this webinar is Building Energy Modeling and Simulation. Our presenter for the session, architect Farheen Bano, is an assistant professor at our institute. She is an MArch IIT Roorkee alumnus and BArch GCA Lucknow alumnus. She has a vast teaching experience with expertise in the field of building energy simulation and climate responsive architecture. She has also completed her PhD in the area of energy efficient building envelopes. In today's seminar, as a master trainer, Farheen ma'am will be explaining the simulation program that will help architects make better decisions during the early design process. The series includes climate analysis using weather files, live demonstrations of the software, and the underlying theory that allows architects to interpret simulations. This will help students in understanding the basic concepts of climate and energy in architecture. Also, furthermore, it will help professionals and academicians in interpreting their design development with respect to response to climate and energy. The webinar will include an overview of building energy simulation programs, benefits of using building energy simulation programs for making early design stage decisions, installation process of the selected simulation software, creating 3D geometry of the building and spaces, creating and editing construction setup, fenestrations and shading devices, defining space properties, space load and schedules, parametric analysis, and analyzing the result. Without further delay, I would now like to welcome Farheen ma'am to begin the session for today. Over to you, Farheen ma'am.
Thank you, Juveria. And hello, everyone. So this week, I think everyone must be get bored of attending the seminars and webinars online. So yet again, webinar for on the building energy modeling and simulation. If you are a bit interested in softwares or simulation or climate responsive architecture, then you will find this interesting. So about myself, Juveria has told you, I'm assistant professor at Faculty of Architecture, and I'm teaching since 12 years, and I've submitted my PhD on energy efficient building envelope. So for doing my PhD, I came across various simulation softwares for doing my research work, for doing simulation. That was the basic of my PhD, the simulation in for which I have to conclude to some results. So in that, I have explored many simulation programs. I will share my experience with you in between my webinar. So first of all, I will tell you what this webinar will include. So I will tell you why to use building simulation tools, and you will learn its usefulness and application, and what are the possible simulation tools available in the market. And there are various tools available in the market, but you don't know how to choose them and what to choose them. So I will tell you how to choose from that available simulation tools, and then I will tell you whatever tools you have selected, how to perform the modeling and simulation in that tool through uh, to building performance analysis, daylight analysis, and parametric analysis. And then through some case studies, I will show you the application. So first of all, the simulation tool, everyone knows it is a performance analysis tool to make the decisions at the early design stage before it has been constructed. Then why simulation tools? To reduce the cost of explorating design options and HVAC design. It aids in analysis of energy usage in building, energy conservation studies, building design studies to explore the energy saving potential of different design strategies and operation, designer can experiment with different design options considering life cycle cost and carbon footprint too. So in the design process, you can select the design strategies which are cost optimum and the energy optimum to help in designing the building to conform with building codes and rating systems. So you can find out what rating your building is getting, and whatever building codes that are applicable to it, you can find out it is compliance to that code or not through the simulation program. It enables the parametric study of various building elements like shading devices, fenestrations, U values of walls and roof. So next is the application. It, it is used for the energy analysis, building heating and cooling loads, peak load demands, profiles, and lighting load calculations. Then heat transfers, that is the thermal performance analysis, code compliance, cost analysis to find out payback period and life cycle cost analysis, quality assurance to reduce the carbon footprint and control system, that is building energy management and control system design. So all these application can be done by using the building energy simulation programs. Then the available building energy simulation programs. So there's this exhaustive list of the simulation programs available online, or you can purchase them. Some are free, some are very costly. So I can tell you my story when I was doing my PhD. So the initially the software I was knowing was the Ecotech, and I go online to purchase that software, and I found कि ये तो जो है Autodesk ने बंद कर दिया है. Then with softwares through the literature reviews, through the research paper, I find out कि ये जो Energy Plus होता है ये best software होता है for analysis. And I downloaded it. It was free also. It's interface, I tell you, it's very difficult. You have to enter the geometry through the coordinates. So you have to, there's no 3D view you can see of the building. So through coordinates you have to tell कि x and y direction कि building कहाँ पे place है, कैसे place है, z direction क्या है, y direction क्या है. So you can imagine for an architect how to imagine a building in a coordinates. It's very difficult, and all the calculation was mathematical. The interface was so difficult for an architect to understand. I gave up. Then I came across the Open Studio. It was plugged into the SketchUp, and it was using a simulation engine of Energy Plus. Again, I thought it has a graphical interface of SketchUp, then it might be helpful for me. Then I downloaded Open Studio. It was also free, and I've studied through tutorials and all, but still it was very difficult because again the inputs were so difficult to resolve and analyze. I gave up for the Open Studio also. Then I explored many energy departments. I went Terry. So somebody told me that Compton is a tool which you can use for your research, and it is for commercial buildings. I became very happy. Then I started, and it was also free. Then I started exploring Confluent. Then I found when I made my model and started replicating it to make it a multi-story building, then I found it is only for 5 stories building. So again, it was useless for me. Then I came across Francis software, and everybody told me, and researchers told me that Francis is the software that is used by the researchers, and it is very useful software. But it is very costly software. You cannot. So I gave up for that also. eQuest I tried, but it has very limited geometries on which you can do the simulation. And one day I came across Design Builder software, and I tried for my own. It is not free software, but you can get trial online for 1 month. Through the online training or YouTube tutorials, I learn a bit of that software. Then I done course of this Design Builder software, 1 month course. That is the certification course of this software. And then I explored this software fully and applied that on my research, and I've submitted my research. So these are all software which I have explored, came across. Some has pros. Every software has its pros and cons. So this is the list, or you can explore more by the there's a website on which you can go. There's a energy simulation softwares are listed there. Nowadays, I came across with the plugins of the Rhino. So advantage of this software, simulation software, is that it Rhino plugin is Grasshopper also. So when you are doing parametric design in Grasshopper, simultaneously you can simulate that parametric design through these energy simulation plugins: Honeybee, Butterfly, Ladybug, and Dragonfly. So while I was exploring the software, one thing I came to know that Energy Plus is the best software for energy simulation, and Radiance is the best software for daylight simulations. So you can find these Honeybee, Butterfly, Ladybug, Dragonfly. They are using the simulation engines of Energy Plus and the Radiance or DaySim for using the simulation, but in the one platform. So you can try this software also for making the simulations. So I have listed the capabilities and the software that are capable in that capabilities in this list. This whole building energy simulation, there are various software listed here. Then daylighting, it is Radiance, DaySim, Energy Plus. Then for solar and photovoltaic analysis, there is Bluesol, Heat, Diva, Urban, Urbasun, Autodesk Insight, Design Builder, Transol. And for urban scale energy analysis, there is CityBase, Urba Sun, Urba Wind, Dexima Seed. Then for airflow simulation or CFD simulation, there's Design Builder, Trace 700, Energy Plus, Urba Wind, BSIM. For life cycle analysis, again, there's a Design Builder, Trace 700, Hippo, Bees, Lisa, Athena. Parametric and optimization, it has BuildSim Hub, Design Builder, EBSCO, Honeybee, Confin, Zenopt, Transys. And for weather data and climate analysis, it has IMAC Assistant, Climate Consultant, Light Stanza, Psychometric Analysis, Design Suite, and Climate Well. These are all software. So when I was going through the design capabilities, you can you must have seen in all the lists one software was common, that is the Design Builder. So it has many capabilities. You can say it simulate, it visualize, it has daylighting simulation, it has CFD simulation, it has parametric and optimization, carbon and cost analysis, and scripting. So Design Builder is a software which has advanced graphical user interface that has been specially developed to run Energy Plus simulation. And for UK and Republic of Ireland users, Design Builder software interface can be used to produce energy performance certificates and to show compliance with the building regulations. So this software has been recognized for the government for building compliance and all. And when I'm talking about the scripting, so scripting unfolds many other capabilities of design on Design Builder, in which you can modulate the facade HVAC design in a very you can say customized way. So in scripting, the languages that are used is energy management system, that is by Design Builder only, C+ script, and the Python script. It is using these scripts in which you can regulate your design, your simulation. Application: calculating building energy consumption, evaluating facade option for overheating and visual performance, visualization of site layouts and solar shading, thermal simulation of natural ventilation of buildings, natural daylighting, calculating heating and cooling equipment sizes, and CFD analysis. Then coming to the steps of the simulation, first we have to download, we have to set up the system, set up the location, then we have to do the modeling in the simulation in the program, We have to build our building model. Then we have to input the schedules and loads. Then we have to simulate through energy, daylighting, or natural ventilation, whatever parameters you want to simulate. Then is the analysis of results. So this is the holistic approach for the simulation, in which it has the geometry. The, the upper ones are the input ones. And then when we input all these things in a program, then only we can get a desired result. So input are geometry, weather condition, HVAC design, load, simulation specific parameters, operation strategies, and schedules. Then when we input all these things in a simulation program, then we will get the result. And how to go about it. So you can go to your to the website, Design Builder website. You can download the file, then install it, and when you open it, this screen will come. So when this screen will come, then what you have to do in help, there is a license. So in license file, you have to first evaluate. During the evaluation, you have to give the email ID and submit. The code will be mailed to your email ID. When you enter that code to this evaluation, next, when you enter that code here, this design builder will be activated and you can use it. So before starting, we have to set up the model. For that, you have to go to the tools and program and international. So when we go to edit program options, there is language, units. So metric is the unit we prefer. So by default, in some of the programs, inch and pound has been selected. So you can change from there, from here. And by default here, it is dollar. So we can change this from the list and make it as an Indian rupee. The region is Indian, so we can change from here the region also. And rest is the same. And click OK. While it is taking time for updating the result. So when we will open the design builder model, you will see this screen. So it has menu bar, model data tabs, in which there is layout, activity, construction, opening, lighting, HVAC, generation, economics, outputs, and CFD. This is info panel. Info panel tells you what next step you can do. This is navigation panel, edit screen, and the screen tab. So you have different options. This help is very useful in design builder because it tells you what exactly is the next step you have to do. So it says you can open selected file from the template, or you can create new file, or you can open existing file. So I am creating new file. So when you are creating new file, this file is the location of this file is asking the location of your building. So Lucknow has been selected, so I am changing it to New Delhi. And then I will change the location from here. So these are EPW climate files already available in the design builder, and we can choose from this. I have chosen New Delhi, Safdarjung, and click OK. The screen that I have shown you in the PPT is visible now, in which this is the menu bar, and it's still the other bars are not visible because you have to add the building now. So the next step is again visible in the help menu. It is saying add building, import 2D drawing, or import BIM model. So if I add building, this panel will open. In this panel, you don't have to change anything. So I am making a project which is an office building. So I have to select office building template from this. So I've selected this template. If whatever project I am uh, making in this design software, so we have to select the template of that software. So the data regarding the building type uh, will be available to you. Ready-made data will be available to you according to the ASHRAE 90.1 standard. So it is very important to select the correct template from the template given in the design builder. So I am taking office because I am about to build office building. And I can name the project. So I'm naming the project as office. Now again, okay. And it is not non-residential building. If you are making a house, then you can select here residential. And okay. So before it is starting, I can go to the so when we will open this new building block window, these options will be available. It's saying building block, outline block, and component block. Building block is used for creating models. It is the building data will be used for the simulation. Outline block is a temporary block, and component block is used for making ground shading structures or the nearby buildings or the surroundings. So you can see I'm showing this is building block, outline block, and component block. So when I am making building block, suppose 15 meter by 20 meters by 15 meters. 15 by 20 meter rectangle I have made, and automatically it has been extruded. So this is the height of extrusion, as it is a commercial building and office block. So this height is okay, or I can make reduce or increase the height from this panel. Here the polygon was selected. Whatever I will make will be in lines. And when I will select rectangle, we'll make rectangle, and then I will select cylinder. So we have to give the diameter, enter, and can erase all. So another is outline block. And there is arc also. You can make arc. So this outline block do not take part in the simulation program. This is only a temporary block used used to help to make the main block, the main building block. And anytime during the drafting or modeling, you can convert this outline block to the building block or a component block like this. I can delete this and I will draw. Now I will draw component block. This will be in purple in color made, and this is useful for making surrounding buildings. The shading devices, the ground. So component block has three options. One is ground. So you can make ground of 0.5. So this is ground, or you can make an adiabatic surface. So what is adiabatic surface? I can tell you. If you are, if you want to simulate a room of uh, of any school, a classroom of a school. Okay. So I have to make a building block. The height of the building block is 3.6 meters. Enter. It is L-shaped building, 15 meters by 30 meters by 30 meters, 15 meter, 15 meter, and then this. So this is a building block I have made. Then I have to make the surroundings. Surrounding can be of this component block. So this building is a part of any very large building. Then what we can do, and this surface of the building is surrounded by another room. This wall of the building is surrounded by the wall of another room. Then we can make an adiabatic surface or adiabatic block adjacent to that wall. So this wall will not be considered as external wall in the simulation, and the simulation run will this wall will behave like an internal wall, and simulation will run accordingly. Now we have to make a surrounding. Then what we have to do, component block, the component is standard. And through extrude command, this is an extrude command, we can extrude this to any height we want. This is how we can make the surrounding, ground, the adiabatic block through the component block. So all these blocks will not take part in the simulation, but the effect of these blocks will fall on this building block. So whatever the effect of wind through this block, whatever the effect of reflected radiation through these adjacent blocks will be taken into consideration in the simulation program. So you can go through various options that are available in this. It is rectangle, circle. in the building block itself, then straight line and arc. And when we go through this, extrude, sloping wall, pitch roof, and a dome. Sloping wall, it says the wall is at 70 degree from the horizontal surface, and the height of the floor to floor height is 3.6 meters. So this is how it will look when we will do this, like this. And then we'll click the option pitch roof. It says cable roof. When we click, it is not a cable roof. It will be built like that and like this. So you can see the roof has been constructed and roof area is not occupied surface. So this area which is below the roof will not be calculated in the simulation. And if we say this is an occupied surface, then this area will be calculated in the simulation. Then in add block itself, we can draw dome also. So it gives the flexibility of making any type, any kind of model very easily. So the interface of this software is very user friendly. You can make any kind of building model into this, whatever angle of walls, whatever type of roof it has, it can be made through this. Then
Ma'am, we have a question. We have a question
yes,
by Ashutosh. He's asking, can we import a 3D model into the software?
yes, we can import 3D model in the software. It is saying import BIM model and import 2D drawing also. So it has both the options. BIM model, by BIM model, it says we can import the Revit 3D drawing. And 2D drawings, it can import, you can say DXF file, PDF file, BMP, JPEG, GIF, TIF. So these are the 2D drawings that can be imported in the design builder. And 3D file is the Revit file that can be imported. So you can see this is the file already there on the desktop. I'm selecting it. The unit that is there in the AutoCAD file, you have to select that here and next. So whatever layer you want to import, you can select from that. You can select from these layers. So I want both of these layers to be imported. Finish. So this is the drawing that has been imported, and by using the this 2D drawing, I can make the 3D model. So any complex building drawing, you can think it is easier for you to draft that or make 3D modeling in the design builder software by importing the 2D drawing. So you can import the DXF file of the AutoCAD into the software, and then you can start modeling through the method I've told you. So this is the way it can be. This is how. Then in the view rotation, you can see, we can see the plan of this left, right, back, front, and the axonometric. And the windows, you see the already they are present on the facade. We can, when we will go to the opening panel, we will go in the opening panel, then I will tell you how we can regulate this. And in the left hand navigation panel, you can see first the hierarchy of the drawing you can see here. First is the site, another is the building, third is the block. So this block we can name as ground floor plan, ground floor. when we go inside this ground floor, we can see the floor plan. Yeah, you can see. So this dotted line that has been shown is the width of the wall. So you can see this is the, so when we go inside the ground floor plan, there are another options available, that are the partitions and the void. So this, you can say, inside line is for the void. So I will make a courtyard inside this building by using the void option. The void has been created. And through partition, what I can do by clicking on partition, when I click on partition, the options available are standard and virtual partition. So standard partition is the physical partition you draw, and the virtual partition is the partition you draw for the analysis of the of some region or some zone. So this partition is a virtual partition. So in real, this partition is not there, but the zone has been divided. You can see two zones has been created. One is this, another is this. Because I have made the zone through the this virtual partition, that is why this second zone has not been this second zone has been created, and this one zone has been created. This is zone 1. This whole is zone 1 and this is zone 2. This will act as a real partition and it will take part in the calculation, and this will not take part in the calculation. This is only for our analysis purpose. Now we can visualize how this courtyard is visible. So in visualize panel, I will click. So this is how the model looks, and in rendered view, you can see, in which you can see the thickness of the wall also. When I go in the office, so this is how it looks. By clicking sun part diagram, so this sun part diagram will be visible. By making shadow, from this left hand panel only, you can set date, time, whatever date or time you want for casting the shadow of the building. Then north arrow is visible and the ground plane is visible. So these are the options. You can decrease or increase the scale of sun path diagram by using this. This is how you can increase. Show window frame. There is another option called generate AVI movie. So it generates movie by the orbit method. So this orbit will be rotated, and you can save that movie that has been created. And another is the shading. So shading from day to night can be saved. So if you want to save, you can save this for any research or analysis purpose. If I want to view this, okay, it is not supporting the movie. So you can view that movie, and then the image that has been created through rendered view, you can export it in the JPEG format. So these are all options available in the visualize panel. Again, in the visualize panel, you can cut the sections. So this is how you can cut the section and see the view. So the section plane can be changed by clicking the arrows here. I'm clicking this arrow. The section plane can be changed. Again, if I go to the shadow analysis, so I can analyze the shadow inside the building and save it. You can change the date, month, time, and again analyze the shadow on all the solstices or equinoxes. You cannot simulate for all the days, but you can simulate for the solstice and the equinox. Can we take a break?
Sure, ma'am, we can. There are a few questions in the chat box if you'd like to take them now.
Hmm. Yes, yes. Uh, will it convert the 2D imported file into 3D? Which 2D imported file? No, it will not convert that 2D. It is a JPEG image. It will not convert that 2D imported file into a 3D model. Then also the final outcome will be same as that of Max. I am not getting this question.
I guess what she's trying to ask is something about the modeling. Architect Nirmal Binti, this is not a design modeling software, it's an energy modeling software. So the render quality may not be as good as 3ds Max.
Okay, okay. So when we are exporting the model, there are options. It is bitmax, PNG, TIF, JPEG, and DXF. So DXF can be exported in the AutoCAD file. Whatever you have made there can be exported to AutoCAD. So I hope all questions has been answered.
Ma'am, there's one more question. Is Revit file only the supported version for 3D? For importing 3D, is only Revit file supported or any other
No,
file can
only Revit file is supported. No other file is supported. No other model can be imported in this design builder. So I don't have any 3D file available right now. Otherwise, I must have imported.
There are a lot of requests on asking you how to import
A
a
3D
Revit.
file. I don't have a Revit model right now.
We
And there are some errors in importing the Revit model. Some of the components of the Revit model are not imported in this design builder. So when we simulate what happens, the error comes. So it is better to import the 2D drawing and then make a 3D in this modeling software of this design builder only. Because it is not a tough task to make a model in the design builder software. It has very user friendly interface, and for simulation purpose it can be made very easily in this. If you want a rendered model for to show client for design analysis or design proposal, then you can show your Revit model. For simulation, it is better to do the modeling in this software only. Otherwise, when you simulate, lots of error log will be created.
Ma'am, Akash Panchal has a question that if we have already created partitions in the Revit model, do we need to make a virtual partition for zone?
Virtual partitions are for the analysis in which you want to analyze कि south में कितना energy consumption हो रहा है for the daylighting or the heating or cooling, north में कितना हो रहा है, so you will get to know the effect of the energy consumption and lighting consumption with respect to the orientation. It is not the real partition. Virtual partition is for the analysis, not for simulation. So when you are making the Revit model, that partitions are not virtual; they are the real partition. So you have to make a real partition in the design builder also. That if you have that real partition in your model, so if your model has been imported from the Revit file, if it has the partition, so it will be there in the design builder also. So again, I am saying there are some components of the Revit that are not being imported in the this design builder file. So your model looks incomplete when it is imported in the design builder from Revit. So I suggest to not to import the 3D model in the design builder.
Ma'am, Shivansh Agarwal is asking for a link where we can download the software. I think at the end of the session, maybe you can give us the
I
link.
will share the links from you can download the tutorial also, the software, the webinars related to design builder. So all you can download from one design builder website only.
Okay. And ma'am, there's a question from Rajiv Kumar Srivastav that AutoCAD drawings are supported in Design Builder.
Yes, yes. I have imported DXF file on which I am doing this simulation.
Ma'am, Alok Maurya has a question. How to rectify the error saying block intersection while making the interior part of light shelves?
Block intersection means कि your block has been intersected by the another block. So when you are making light shelves, so there is limitation of this design builder. You cannot insert a, a component or you can say shading devices inside a building. The light shelf, the part of light shelf that is outside the building, that is only that can be made, not the inside the building. So it has the limitation. This is the limitation of design. So it cannot be resolved.
There's a question from Piyush. Is there any other software which could be used as a plugin in Revit or other modeling softwares?
Design Builder is a plugin to Revit. Design Builder has launched a plugin to Revit. You can download the plugin of Design Builder for Revit from the link I will give you.
Apart from that, as you had already mentioned, I think Grasshopper has a couple of plugins that can be used for simulation,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Yes. So Grasshopper is very interesting because it simulate it does the parametric design iterations can be made through that. So while making the iteration through parametric modeling, you can simulate also. So that is why it is more interesting, has been used by researchers in their researches.
Ma'am, I guess that's all the questions that we have for now. Maybe we can continue.
We can continue after 5 minutes.
Okay, sure, ma'am.
Then I will tell about the modeling part is very easy. Those who know some 3D software, SketchUp or AutoCAD, they can model in this software very easily. They can explore the modeling. Now we will tell the input parts. That is the very necessary part of Design Builder or any simulation software. So we will resume after 5 minutes.
Okay, ma'am. Ma'am, meanwhile, can you give us a link of the download so that while the participants are
Okay,
waiting,
okay,
they can download the trial version?
okay. For tutorials and training, you can go through this. It has reached the audience.
Yes, ma'am. I've already uploaded the link for downloading the softwares, and now I'm just uploading the link to view the tutorials. While we take a break, I would request the participants to maybe download the software and then we can do it simultaneously as ma'am is giving us a training session. So we'll take a break for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Ma'am will resume at 4:10.
Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Can we start now?
Yes, ma'am, sure. You can go ahead.
So in this navigation panel, you can see first is site, next is the building, next is the floor or the block, then comes the zone. After zone, there is the surfaces, roof, wall, partitions, and after surfaces, when we click this wall, then comes the opening. So this is the hierarchy of the data that is there. So when we go to the wall surface, you can see there are some more options are available. It is called draw window, subsurfaces, hole, draw door, vent, CFD boundaries, construction line. So all the construction line is used for helping the whatever element you want to add in the building. So this is the construction line is helps in when you draw what parts the construction line was what is the function of construction line there is same as the function of the construction line here in the simulation software. So now we come for the other tabs, input tabs. So from the when we have made the layout model, then comes the activity tab. In activity tab, the template that has been selected is the generic office area. So whatever is the function of that zone or building, you can select from this template, and you can OK this occupancy. So these units of occupancy or the schedule, these can be get from NBC, ASHRAE, or whatever code you are using for making this building. So you can use that standard, that code to input the data in these panels, what it is activity construction, or if you have a live case study of the building, then you can what you have studied from your live case study, the occupancy density of that place, you can input here. So whatever it is input you see in the panel by default is the ASHRAE standard. So I am not touching it. The schedule of occupancy, you can see when I go to the edit panel, it is the compact schedule. The schedule can be of three types. It is 7 by 12 schedule in which you can see this month and the weekly. So you can select and change the time from this schedule. So this is a log library for making any change in this template. Whatever template you see, it can be changed, but you have to copy and then edit. So you can say this is the schedule of occupancy, and whatever schedule you want to input, you can input. Compact schedule is a bit complicated. I will not tell, it will require time to explain. So I'm only telling about the 7 by 12 schedule in which the office timing is from 9 to 5. You can select from this 9 to 5 is the office timing, and okay. So all has been selected as 9 to 5. If Saturday you want to change some for some half day, you can select from here, and Sunday off and select. So this schedule has been set by the office schedule name you have given. So you can change the schedule according to the case study or according to the occupancy schedule you want to simulate your building. Then okay, this schedule has been created. I'm not touching this metabolic clothing or any of this data because this data is according to the standard of ASHRAE. So office equipment are on, and this power density, it is watt per meter square. This is again, you can do a case study. Whatever the load of equipment is there, you can write there, or you can refer the standards for the occupants of the office equipment, and the timing of operation of these equipment can be inserted through this schedule. So while setting, after setting the activity, then I can go to the construction tab. For construction tab, I want to show you something. When it says the flat roof construction, then this is the flat roof. When it says pitch roof unoccupied, then this roof is talking about internal ground floor construction, external wall construction. This is the internal floor construction. So this is how the in this figure it shows how design builder is the terminology that has been used in design builder for different construction and surface. You can see all this has been given here. So what I'm interested in, the external wall and the flat roof. So I will copy this, and whatever external wall I want to make a normal brick wall, then I can change through this, make a 3-layer plaster. I can change the material from here. I can select the material plaster from the list. So it has wide variety of material, construction materials, and the templates available in Design Builder. That is why it is user friendly. And if there is a material it is not there in the Design Builder, then what you can do, you can copy this and make an edit. So you can make a new material from the material available if you know its thermal property. So you can make your own material also, and you can select from the variety of materials that is available. So I'm selecting from the material that is available. Then brick, 0.23. Then again plaster. It was outermost plaster. I'm making it 15 mm. This is innermost plaster. So I will make it as 12 mm. So all these insertion are in meters. So when we will enter all these data, we can see the image. It is outer surface, inner surface, plaster, brick, and again a plaster. Through this, you can see the U value of the assembly, of wall assembly, the cost. You can enter manually to find out the payback period or the life cycle cost analysis of the building. And click OK. So you can see this brick wall has been created, and we insert here. Similarly, for the flat roof, we will copy and make an assembly, that is RCC slab. As again, whatever layers, outermost layer is of screed. So I will select screed or tile, whatever you want to select. Cement and sand screed, 40 mm. Then RCC, and from concrete, I will select RCC. This is called concrete reinforced. RCC is 150 mm, and again a plaster. This is how I have made a RCC slab. Okay. So these two figures I'm interested in. I have made the change, and all the other figures that has been there, it is according to the ASHRAE standard. I'm not making change any. From opening, we can change. If we are making a base case, we can select a single clear glazing. And then from glazing type, we can change whatever type of glazing, that is double glazing, single glazing, tinted, reflected, whatever glazing you have type you have been selected in your design project, you can select from here. So I have selected single clear glazing. It is window to wall ratio is 30%, window height is 1.5 meter, spacing is 5 meter and 0.8 meter, and this you can change according to your design. Frames and divider of this model is wooden, and you can change its frame width, divider width, and next comes the shading. Window shading means the internal shading that architects are not interested in. We are mostly interested in the local shading, that is overhangs and the projection. So in again this also, if I want to do any change, then I have to copy and edit. So I want to make a overhang and pin both of 600 mm. So the material I can select, it is concrete, not street. So from this, I will select the concrete and give the thickness as 0.75. 0.75. Louvers, side pins, again right and left, 0.6, 0.6. Overhang. So this is way I have selected. So all these things you can see, the vertical offset, horizontal window overlap. You can see the figure attached to it. It is very user friendly. So you can insert these values according to the design you have from this side pins also. So I have made all the other values 0. Only the overhang and pin values is 600 mm. I made it okay. So if we want to visualize this shading devices, I can go to this. I can see this is the shading devices that has been added and can be visualized through in the visualizer. So it is of concrete. The thickness is 75 mm. You can visualize through this. And again, we will go to the edit panel in the opening. So we have added all the parameters. I'm not adding any internal glazing or doors and vents because this will not help in the simulation. Then comes the lighting tab. So in lighting, this is called journal lighting. So normalized power density for any office building is 400 lux. So it is one unit in this means 100 lux. So we can make it as a 4 that is required. Lighting schedule, we can choose the or like we have made the schedule for the occupancy, we can copy and edit the schedule for lighting also here. Then comes the type of luminaire: suspended, surface mounted, recessed, luminous, lowered ceiling, and the return air duct. So these are the types of luminaires that are available. You can see here. So these are the type of luminaire. It is suspended, surface mounted, it is recessed, luminous and lowered ceiling luminaire, and the return air duct. So whatever type you are selecting, these values will be changed. This is called return air fraction, radiation fraction, visible fraction, and the convection fraction. And these values which are there will be used for the simulation. So I'm using the suspended. Lighting controls on, when I do the lighting controls on, it means when there is daylight, the light will be automatically closed. The simulation level, what I have set here, is reached. Linear means ki, the light will be dimmed at the point wherever it is reached. And steps means at some point, if it's 3 steps, it will take step by step measurement to dim the light. So linear is the most energy efficient solution because it will linearly calculate the way it has to dim the lighting. So I'm not owning the task and the display light so that the lighting load can be calculated with effect of the daylight in the building. Then comes the HVAC. So you can refer NBC for the type of HVAC that can be used in your building. In NBC, it says for office building, if the area is more than 10,000 square meter, then you have to use the variable air volume chilled system. So I'm using that in this schedule. Again, the schedule you can set when will be your AC start and when it will be closing. According, you can copy the schedule and make the schedule according to you. For heating, it is saying it is using natural gas, but we are calculating the energy consumption or electricity consumption. So I'm making from gas to electricity. Again, from default, it is connected to electricity. For heating, the coefficient of performance is between 0.7 to 0.85. And for cooling, the coefficient of performance for central air conditioning system is 6 to 3. So for by default, it has been 3. DHW is domestic heat water. It is not required in our climate, so I am making off. So these are all inputs I have done so that I can simulate. And the result I get is according to my inputs, customized result. For generation, it means the solar voltaic panels. So I'm not covering the solar photovoltaic panel in this webinar. Now I will do, because I have input all my data in the input panels, activity, construction, opening, lighting, whatever design proposal I'm giving, I have input all my data. Then I will click the tab that is called simulation. Update. So it is saying simulation period. So I'm making the simulation for whole year. You can do the simulation for summer design week, summer design typical week, all summer, winter. So whatever period you say is a typical time where there is more energy consumption, you can select that period and do the simulation. And the outputs can be monthly or daily basis. Hourly output can also be generated, but it takes more time in simulation. The more output we need from the simulation engine, it will take more time to simulate. So output, that is why what we will do, the graphical outputs are more decipherable and comprehensible. That is why we rely more on these graphical outputs than the detailed summary outputs. That is why I am I'm taking off this all summary outputs, because I'm not using for the analysis all these summary outputs. And the more text here will require more time in the simulation. So what I am doing, this is the comfort, the data, whatever data I want after the simulation, we can tick the boxes here, and the data of that boxes will be visible to us. The simulation will be run for that data only. So it is always advisable, whatever data you want as a result, only that boxes has been ticked, and your time consumption will be less for simulation. Okay. So it says it wants to download this X-ray file from the net. So I will say okay. Whenever it simulates, it wants to download the file from the net. So this is the simulation results it gets, and in the left hand side display option, it says data all. So the all data is there in one display. So I can distribute the data to get a simplified display. So this temperature data, the site data, climate data, it says temperature, speed, direction, pressure, solar radiation. Wind speed, wind direction. So wind direction, you can see it started from 0 is the north in the clockwise direction towards the east to west. Then comes the comfort data. This is a comfort data in which you can see air temperature, radiant operative temperature, percentage. So this is the daily data. To get it more decipherable, I'm converting into a monthly data. Then appearance, I can make this as a bar. You can see that discomfort hours, you can see there's more discomfort hour in May, June, July. The Franger PMV is more in June, so you feel more discomfort in June month than in February or November. February and November are the most comfortable months. So through this, you can find out the comfort and discomfort on the hourly basis. Then internal gains, latent gains, heat balance, journal lighting, computer, solar heat gains, sensible heating. So all heat gains can be seen from this chart. Fabric, you can see wall से कितना जो है थर्मल ट्रांसफर हो रहा है, ग्राउंड से कितना हो रहा है, पार्टीशन थ्रू रूफ एंड एक्सटर्नल इनफिल्ट्रेशन. So all these heat gain through the fabric can be seen from here and divided into the month की कौन से month में कितना heat transfer हो रहा है. Then fuel breakdown, you can see grid, there are options available, graph and table. So this is the lighting electricity or room electricity, that is the equipment load, lighting load, heating load and the cooling load. So you can see the lighting load is diminishing in June, July, August because we have take the controls, lighting controls in the input panels. That is why this variation is visible. If we have not put the lighting controls, then the lighting load will be similar for all the months. And this blue is the cooling load. This is highest. Then heating load is this red one, and lighting load is yellow. So this load you can see. So this chart is very important, as by looking on these charts, you can by making any design change in your model or adding any passive techniques, you can check what is the reduction in heating or cooling load or the lighting load in the building, and you can select your design strategies accordingly for that, for your design. Then fuel total, this is the fuel total monthly consumption, in which February is the month in which there is least energy consumption, and July is the month which has highest energy consumption. When I say on the run period, that is energy consumption annual, and I use the normalized by area. So by this, this data is the EPI of the building. You can say this is 168.75 kilowatt per meter square is the energy performance index of this building. So this is how we can calculate कि अगर कोई suppose if you are increasing the window area, the radiation or the heat intake of the building will increase. So you have to decide the optimum window area to the heating and cooling load. So the lighting load is also reduced and the heating and cooling load of the building is also reduced. So we have to see what is the reduction in the energy total energy consumption of the building, and that can be seen through the EPI or energy and performance index of a building. So this is how you can judge or you can select one design strategy over the other design strategy. Then comes the CO2 production. This can be seen monthly or on daily basis also. So this is the result we can analyze through design builder. We can simulate, we can model, we can analyze give the input according to the parameters we want to analyze and simulate to get the result. Next tab is the I think from here till here it is clear. Is there any question till here?
No, ma'am, we don't have any questions yet. So I think we can just continue a little further and then maybe we'll get some questions.
Okay. So another tab is the daylighting tab. So when I put open this daylighting and calculate the daylighting, there is the simulation called journal lead. So this simulation will give the analysis according to the lead or BREEAM, whatever rating system you are checking for the daylighting purpose. This is the quality of daylighting you want to have. This is the working plane on which it has to be calculated. The sky, you can see there is a sky method, standard sky, and this is the type of sky you can see in the panel. There are various types of sky. I can show you. So this is how the CIA clear sky looks. This is CIA overcast sky look. And overcast sky, the lux is the same for overcast sky. So for the India, it is 10,000 lux, on which by using this value, the simulation of daylight calculation of overcast sky has been done. So this is how the calculation of daylight factor is done. This is these are the methods in which the simulation has been done in the design builder. So I have used this overcast sky in which the illumination all over the surface is the same, and okay. Simulation is running. I can see Yogesh Kumar Shukla is raising hand. While the simulation is running, you can ask questions of whatever input or whatever part you have not understood.
Ma'am, we have a question from Piyush.
Yes.
Can the graphs also tell if the values are within standards or is there excessive discomfort inside the building?
Yes. Uh, For the standards, you have to check कि there ECBC standards which says कि commercial buildings, the benchmark for the commercial buildings is this EPI. If your building is not coming under that EPI, then you have to redesign your building, and that you have to remodel, or you have to incorporate some passive design strategies to get your EPI within that value. For example, for composite climate and a commercial building, the EPI is recommended by ECBC is 110, and the EPI of this building is coming around 160. So you have to incorporate the design strategy so that you can add insulation. Because we have used a single brick wall building. So you can use cavity, you can use double wall, or roof. We have taken roof RCC slab. You can add insulation to the RCC slab. Glazing can be double, triple, whatever a high performance glazing, or the shape of the building, or the WWR, wall window ratio, can be optimized to have more energy efficiency in the building. So you can do the changes in the design so that the energy performance index has been reduced. So you have to simulate the this building multiple times to get a best option. This is, you can see this, the daylight graph has been created. The sky type I have selected is overcast, so the illumination from all the direction is same, and we can set from this highest and the lowest value. So by default it is 2 and 10, and I can select, if I say ki daylight, after 6 daylight factor, whatever illumination is, it is glare. So I can see 0 to 6, and we can select this red part as a glare, and we can add shading devices or make the window recessed to improve the glare in the building. So this is how we have to do multiple simulation, or energy simulation and daylight simulation to achieve an energy efficient and comfortable building. So when you can use this clear sky also. In this clear sky, it says, it asks you the time and date, the month, day, and the hour. So you have to set the time on which you want to simulate. So the simulation will be according to that one. Right. June, 9 o'clock. Okay.
While the simulation is running, there are a few more questions that have popped up. Uh, there's a question from Suparna ma'am. She's asking, can we calculate geothermal energy inputs and outputs in Design Builder?
Yes, when I was there in the HVAC tab, there is a geothermal input tab also there in the HVAC tab, and you have to take and input the values there. So it takes, when it simulates, it take into consideration the uh, geothermal this passive techniques into the simulation.
Ma'am, then there's another question from Ahmad Tamim. He is asking, can we get the whole building solar analysis data just like the way we got the internal daylight graphic?
Yes, uh, you have to simulate it. When we are running this simulation, it is for the whole building. When you click the ground floor zone, uh, at different zone, when you click, it gives the daylight data of all the zones of all the floors individually.
Then we have a question from Akash. He's asking, does Design Builder suggest some material change after the analysis as to improve the energy efficiency?
No, no. It only simulates the strategies you are putting in. It don't have mind. It will not suggest you anything.
Then there's another question again by Suparna ma'am. She's asking, can we combine the effects of CFD and geothermal?
Yes, we can combine the effect of CFD and geothermal, but it is a very complex simulation. It cannot be covered in 2 hour class. So generation or the uh, solar voltaic solar panels and the CFD analysis needs another 4 hour webinar because it has lots of input data which is complex.
Then there is a question by Yogesh. He was trying to raise his hand. I guess he's now typed it in. He's
Hmm.
asking about humidity calculation and body heat loss calculation and how it impacts design
So
strategy.
when we simulate, there is this internal heat gain. When we have done simulation, I will show you again. When we have done simulation, there is called internal gain. So internal gains calculate all the internal gains from the person, from the lighting, from the equipment. You can see this is occupancy. And when we are seeing the comfort data, it is showing the humidity and the you can see here humidity and the Pranger PPD model, Pranger PMV model, the values of these models, and the discomfort hours of the buildings. All these data can be analyzed through these charts. These charts can be maximized and you can so see the result like this of each day and every hour by maximizing it. Unzoom. So this is all I have to tell about the simulation program. I hope the taboo of using simulation programs is removed from your mind and you can now can get started with any simulation program. Because Design Builder has a very user-friendly interface. The uh, help panel of or the info panel at the right-hand side will suggest you what activity next you have to do.
I think there are no more questions from any of the
So,
participants. Is there any other
thank you,
question that
everyone.
somebody would like to ask? Ma'am, Alok Maurya has a question. How do you export the simulation data to Excel sheets?
Okay, this is there are some these export data files. So you can export PNG, JPEG, these data. So when you are, this is how the graph can be imported and table can be imported when you have grid or table. It can be imported here like a CSV spreadsheet. So all these data can be exported to the JPEG file. The graphs can be exported as a JPEG file and the data can be exported as an Excel file. Uh,
There is a question from Shreya. I think she's missed the initial part of the webinar. So she's asking, what is the use of virtual partition in the simulation?
Virtual partition is used to analyze the effect of or you have to analyze the effect of orientation on the heating and cooling load of the building. Then you can make a virtual partition in the different direction in whichever you want to find out the effect, and then zone wise the energy consumption can be analyzed. May it be lighting, cooling, or heating.
Are there any more questions from the participants before we close the session?
There are many more things in the design builder. There is a parametric simulation. Again, it needs a lot of time to simulate. Parametric simulation is like ki, you want to see ki, from 0 to 100 WWR ratio, which is the best for the energy consumption. So you can set the objective, that is the energy consumption, and the design variable, that is wall window ratio, that is already set here, and click OK. Then the simulation will take less time, because every time you have to go to the edit panel, change the wall window ratio, and then simulate. By one click only, this parametric click, you can change the WWR from 0 to 100 and get the energy consumption of uh, every WWR ratio. The steps, whatever steps you have been suggested. So it is saying steps of 20. So at 20, 40, 30, 40, 60, 80, it will simulate. So if
There's a
you
question.
hmm,
There's a question from Lalit Akash Verma, who is asking, do we get the same level analysis in Rhino Ladybug?
yes, because it is using the same simulation engine, that is Energy Plus, and Design Builder is also using the same in simulation engine. Uh, you can say the Design Builder is preferred because the graphical interface or doing modeling in this software is very easy. That is why it has been preferred, and it is usually a simulation program. And Rhino or Grasshopper are the drafting tools, or you can say parametric design tools. But you can get a plugin of these ladybugs in this so that you can simulate. But the simulation engine it has been using is the Energy Plus only.
Ma'am, there's one question from Alok Maurya. He's asking which sky conditions is suitable for the Indian condition for simulation.
Uh, if you want to analyze according to the days, which day has what effect on the interior of the building, then you have to use a clear sky. And if you want to analyze whatever day it may be, what will be the illumination in the building, then the overcast sky is preferred. So it is according to your objective you want to analyze, or your objective of the research.
There's one more question from Umar Mohammed. Uh, can we export or extract the weather file from Design Builder for other simulation programs?
Design build, you can see when I was simulating, it is saying to download the EPW file. It get you linked to the EPW file. It do not have the whole EPW file in the template. So you have to, every time you are simulating for any location or any climate, then you have to download the EPW file from the data that is available in the Energy Plus website, in which the EPW file is there. So you don't have to download the EPW file from Design Builder. Design Builder is itself using this as a platform to download EPW file from the web or from the cloud.
So any file that we download from EPW platform will be the format. The file format can be used for any other simulation software also.
Yes, yes. EPW file is used for any software, be it Equest, be it Energy Plus, be it these Ladybug or Grasshopper. So the climate file is the same, that is EPW file.
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for answering so many questions. We have now closed the portal for all the questions, and thank you, Fareen, ma'am, for this in-depth, in detailed description of the software. And you have broken the taboo of using simulation softwares for energy modeling. And I guess all our participants will now have some motivation to try it out at their end. Any other questions that related to the webinar can be sent as a feedback
email that was sent to you earlier, and we can take questions further from there.
Or
Thank
you want to learn the advanced version of this design builder, that is perimetric, or the solo voltaic panels, or the CFD, you can email me, or you call me at your college.
thank you so much, Farheen ma'am, for the presentation. We hope to see you soon after the lockdown period ends. Thank you all the participants for attending the webinar.
Thank you all.